Hi guys, welcome to this session in Google Sheets. In this module, I want to show you how you can quickly create a course booking planner using Google Sheets. So first of all, I've got a blank sheet on the screen as you can see, and in the top of this I'm just going to type the word date. So that's going to be the date, and then the first cell down below that date is where I will put the dates. And what I'll do is I'll just color that up so you can see it. That's where the date, like the month's going to be. And then what I need there is going to be trainer. This is the actual layout of it. Trainer, course, room, and then how many people are booked on it, spaces and capacity, and then percentage fill rate. So percentage fill, and then delegates next, and then revenue. And then after that, I want some check boxes. So PO, invoice, these are just things that I need to do. And confirmed, for example. I'll do. And then I want each of these to be sort of 12 delegates. The room's capacity is going to be 12. So if we go 3 down to 15, I think that's 12. Oops. So I want to merge and center that, or merge it into one single cell. So I'll go to format and then merge cells, merge all. That becomes one thing. Now I'm just going to pull that across for the others because these also want to be merged all the way across to that. And then delegates, I just want this to be, and the rest of it to be a grid. In fact, the whole of it can be a grid, to be honest. Put all borders on there. And probably want this to be merged actually as well for the date. And then what I'm going to put in there is today's date, control semicolon, and then I want that to sit at the top of the cell, not there. I want it to be centered, and I want it to be in the middle. Go to format, and then alignment, and then middle, like that. So trainer, I want to do a validation list. So if I go to data, and then you've got data validation, and then it comes up over on the right, and then you click on add rule. So you've got different options here. So option 1, I will have myself. Option 2, I'll have Dave. So to say there's only 2 trainers, and he can be a different color to me. So he can be pink, and I can be red. So click OK to that. And then again, that needs to be aligned. So if I just go to format again and alignment middle, and then select myself, Steve, and then I need to do the same thing for courses and room. So I'll just have 2 courses, Excel and Access, and room, and I'll just do those. And then what I need to do here is have these automatically filling in. So what I need book to look at is delegate names. So I need here delegate, so I'll just type Bill, and what I'm going to put there is the function count A, which counts whether there's any information in a cell. So I'll go equals count A, opening the bracket, selecting the range, which is this range, closing the bracket, and then pressing enter. It should give me 1. And again, I probably need to format all of these actually rather than doing it one at a time. alignment middle. So 1, and if I just type Ben, Bill and Ben, I'm always wanting to say the flower pot men, that is working. Now spaces left is going to be based on capacity, but I want capacity to show 12, but only if there's a date in that box. If there's no date in this box, I want this to show 0. So it's going to be equals if, open the bracket. So if that cell equals 0, comma, put a 0, comma, otherwise you want it to put 12. That's the capacity. It's 12. Close the if bracket, press enter, and that should come back with 12. Now spaces is just going to be equals capacity minus booked. Press enter on that, so that should come back with 10. That's working okay. Now percentage fill is going to be what that is in percentages terms. So it's going to be equals the booked divided by capacity. Now press enter on that one, and then this needs to be formatted to a percent. And then I don't want that to be decimaled, I want that to be rounded up. So we've got 7%. If I add 17%, should I say, if I add somebody else, a few extra ones, let's get it down to, that's 58, I'll go back up 1. I'll just delete that last person off. So that's 50%, 6 people, 50%, that's working okay. Now I need some counts down here. I want to count how many people are on there, even though it says booked there. So I'm just going to do the same function. Here's count A equals count A, which counts whether there's anything in the cell, including spaces. Press enter on that. Should come up with 6. It does. Now revenue, I haven't got any figures in there, but I'll just put 200 at the top for a minute. That's just going to be sum. So we'll go for sum. And then you're picking up this list. Press enter on that. Should pick up the 200. This needs to be into pounds, so I'll just click on the pound sign. It's in pounds, and then that's just 200 all the way down for this. Just type it again. I should have just pulled that one down. Click on it, pull it down to there. Now this area I want to be checkboxes. So if I go to insert, we can insert a checkbox, or tick box as it's called in Google, and then that puts them in there. So you're just basically ticking on yes or no whether they've done these things, like that. Now I need to sort of block this off at the bottom and colour it in differently. It's totally up to you how you format this, but that's what I want to do. Colour that in so it stands out a little bit better. And so this is your total line. And again, if I just block that off with grid lines so you can see it stands out a little bit better, all borders, like so. So that's your foot, and I'll do that for the top actually. That's the first day of your planner. Now if I copy this block, I just need to copy these rows and just paste it below, so we've got the same layout, exactly the same, but I won't have as many people booked on this one. What I need to do is have some sort of summary at the top of here. So if I insert a row above, and just get some labels up there. So what I need is I want revenue up there. Copy that, paste that up there, total revenue, I want capacity, I want booked and capacity, so I'll copy booked, paste that, and capacity and percentage fill I want as well, those two, because this is going to be summarizing the entire month. If I paste them up there like that. So again, let's just border this off so it stands out a little bit better than that, and I'll colour that as well. Little paint pot. So revenue, I want the total revenue, which is these two. So it's going to be sum. So I need to click on sum, and it's going to be that cell, control key down, and that cell, and then press enter. That should add them both up. 16, yeah, 4, that's it. So booked is just going to be sum and everything that's in the booked column, like that. Could do a total if you wanted to, but that'd just be a duplicate. Press enter on that. Now capacity, if you haven't got anybody booked on something, let's say there's no date here, that capacity is gone to, so there'll be nobody on there. Let's get rid of these. Get rid of these. So there's nothing on there. It's got div 0. So capacity just wants to add up this column, and if the if statement's working correctly, I can put an if statement on there as well. So I'll do that in a minute. So we can now just do sum on this. Sum capacity. Press enter. So capacity is just 12. So percentage fill will be equals 6 people divided by capacity of 12. Press enter on that. And then that needs to be formatted to a percent. That one. 50%. So if I then do a date, capacity 24 has gone up to, if I'll just undo that for a second. So capacity, get rid of that date. So the capacity at the minute is 12. As soon as I put a date in there, the capacity will go up to 24, which has then affected the actual percentage complete. So if I put a name in there, Bill, and pull him down so it fills it all up, that should go to 100. Just get rid of one Bill. 12, so that's gone to 100. And this one is on 50, so that is saying 75. So it is working. But if I just pull these down, just notice I've got an extra row, should I say, not a column. So 13. So this bottom row is an extra one. Don't know how that happened, but I'll just delete it off here actually. And that one as well. Okay, so the formulas are all working. If there's no date in there, that'll go back to just looking at the first one. And because I've got all these people in there, that's why it's coming up with that. So get rid of them. Get rid of that last bill. So that's 100% because these are all 100%. We'll get rid of that. We're back to 50%. Okay, so this works, but this div 0 is ugly. So what you can put in front of that is if error, for example. If that's an error, which div 0 is, it's not really an error, but if error, open bracket. So if that comes back with an error, what you do after the close bracket is comma 0. In fact, I don't need a close bracket on that. Just comma 0 and then a close bracket. So if I copy that formula down, put it in this one, it just shows me 0. As soon as I do a date, it gives me the capacity. As soon as I put a person in there, I can just type some letters, it'll work it out. It's already working that out. So that's basically how you can create a planner using some simple formulas, data validation, checkboxes, and testing it all out in Google Sheets. So hopefully this little video was of use. Thank you for your time, and I'll catch you on the next one.